Well, today marks 6 months of the Biden presidency, and that's 6 months that the situation at the border continues to spiral out of control without solutions in sight. If you look at the data itself, 188,000 people were encountered at the border last month. That's the highest number literally in 20 years. Add to that the fact that in this fiscal year there have already been 1 million arrests at the border. And you can see that the current administration isn't doing anything to address a crisis which frankly is of its own making. Many of the policies that they changed when they came into office were effective and were working, and now we have a major humanitarian and national security crisis at our border, and the way that this administration is handling it is reckless to say the least. And speaking of reckless, you look at the economic data these days, inflation is spiraling out of control, continues to hit highs that we haven't seen in a really long time, which drives up the cost for lower and middle income Americans the most, whether it's a stop at the grocery store or the gas station or the hardware store. It goes on and on. What we are seeing is an economic trend that is really concerning for many, many Americans, complicated by this administration's policies, which now include another proposed $5 trillion in spending, stimulus spending. My understanding is the Democrat leader was out here earlier talking about how the economy is taking off like a rocket. Well, all the spending that they're putting out there is adding gasoline to the fire, and it is exploding on the American people. And that is not going to be something that's going to be sustainable for the long term, certainly in a way that is of any benefit to the American people who right now, as I said, are suffering the cost of this. I hope that the administration will come to the conclusion that their reckless tax and spending spree needs to come to an end for the benefit of the American people.